Hey guys, so here we are with Charlie again. What I'm going to show you is how I put my youngsters into the bridle. I'm a big fan of loping my horses or working my horses on a loose rein for quite a long time before I actually push them into the bridle and get them to accept that bit going forward. The reason for that is because I always want them to know that the foundation of me pulling back on those bridle reins is the stop. That's the foundation. Now I can actually make their maneuvers a little bit better, which is going into the stop or just traveling better, into more of a framed up position or a rounded position to where, not true collection per se, but just that rounded frame where they're giving their chin and being soft to my hands when I'm driving them forward and pulling back at the same time. So I'm going to show you how I go about that. Charlie's done this now. This will be her third session learning how to do this. And especially for a horse like Charlie who gets a little bit dodgy and divey and she's really kind of expressive with her head and her opinions. I didn't want to force this horse into that position because all it would cause is a fight and make her more anxious. So I've done enough loose rein work now. I feel like we can go into this next step of her training program and maybe see if she can be even a bit more solid with her body and her maneuvers by putting her into the bridle. I always go back and forth with my horses. I'm not one to ride them into the bridle all the time unless they really need that. I think every horse is a bit different. Some like that loose rein and they do really well, and some need more of a bridled up look, or they need to be into a rounded position to get to that stop better or make a maneuver better. So this is more of pushing them into the bridle is more of a polish on your training program. It has nothing to do with the fundamentals. So the fundamentals are about the feet, where we're going, and just concentrating on where those feet are in the maneuver, and now we can make the maneuvers better by teaching them how to go into the bridle. So this will be about the third time I think we're doing this on Charlie here, and I'll show you exactly how I do it. Most of the time I'm going to start them to do it on a circle. So, and she's going to be a little bit all over the place because that's the way she is, but so get her moving first. I'm going to hold her in that bridle, just a nice light pressure. And what I'm looking for is she knows to give that chin there. When she feels just a little bit steadier, that's when I'm going to release her. She knows to give her chin because when I pulled back on the bridle for the last 5 months, it meant give your chin, but come backwards. Now my feet are actually going to be on her and squeeze her a little bit just to make sure that she keeps going forward. So my feet are the gas and brakes. If my feet are off, that's the brake pedal. If my feet are on, it's gas pedal going forward. So I'm going to keep my gas pedal on. Hold that bridle, and you can see this is Charlie. She likes to be excessive with her head movement, have her opinions on what we're doing. So I'm just going to hold her steady here. Little bit of bend to the right, the arc of the circle that we're going on. Not too much. I really like my horses to be straight more than bent. Definitely not looking the wrong way to the outside of the circle. So I will make sure that their neck, their mane, I can see just a little bit of a arc to that mane in the right direction we're going here. So what I want to do is hold her here till I feel like the shoulders are good. Everything has to be good before I let go. She's got to be soft there. And the body has to be on that circle that I want. The most important part of this is not the pressure we add, is the pressure we release. So if I add pressure here and I squeeze her forward and she gives her face, like she's got to kind of hold it steady. She can't be like a fish on the end of a hook, flop her face around. She's got to be steady. So I'm just going to hold it till I feel like it. There we go. That was steady. Nice loose rein. Pick up again. And I might do this 3 or 4 times in a circle, or maybe once in a circle. I'm not going to hold her in that frame. I never want to hold one in that frame. I'm just going to teach them how I'd like them to travel, which is if I hold this bit right here, I'm going to wait on her till she's good, till she's soft and holding. There we go, a little steadier. Now release her. Let her have a bit of freedom here, and then put her back in that frame again. Hold, squeeze with my feet, forward motion. There, release right there. Give her that rein back. Hold steady. One thing you'll rarely ever see me do is use my hands in a manner to jerk on a horse's mouth to get that face, either seesawing back and forth or ripping on one rein or both reins. Rarely will you see me do that, because maybe on one that's like super, super tough in the bridle, but most of it is just, I'm always trying to teach them. I'll just stay here all day long. Just hold them right here all day, till she's in that position where I feel is going to be the best position for her moving forward. Might be head up a little higher, might be head down. I'm actually feeling her body and her back and where it is. There, okay, that was good right there. There, that was good right there. I don't care if she pops her head up again. Like I just said, it's about the body position. I want the shoulders to be good on my circle. I want them to feel balanced. I want that head and neck to be where I feel like she's going to be in the most athletic position, which for Charlie is pretty level-headed, or maybe the pole being a little bit lower than her wither. I feel this horse's back. When she picks up her head, I feel her back hollow out. Some horses you can't feel that, but I especially feel it on her. So I want to make sure that her head is not above her wither, because I feel like her back end gets a little more strung out and her back gets hollow. And when she's right there and she relaxes. So horses will naturally relax more if their head is down. And the reason why is because they're a very simple creature. When their nose is down, they either think about eating, drinking, or sleeping, or rolling, rolling. And so every time their nose goes down, that's a relaxing maneuver for them. That tells their brain that we're safe and this is relaxed. So when I get this head and neck down, she'll start blowing out. If her head and neck is high, she's not going to blow out and relax. So I'm basically teaching her how to relax through my hands, through that bridle, but I'm teaching her balance, teaching her to travel better. Her back gets picked up a little bit. And like I said, it's not true collection, but I can definitely feel her back change when her neck is right there. Atta girl, good. And that's kind of what I'm looking for right here, is she wants to travel level-headed when I give her that loose rein. Very good. That's good. Take the gas pedal off. Atta girl. So that's how I introduce my horses to going forward into that bridle. I can't put enough emphasis on why I don't do this so early, or what the causes and the effects you have on pushing a horse into that bridle too early in their training career. A lot of babies I see, they're just forced into that position. And, if you think about it, when you take that nose and bring it into that position, they're looking at the ground. You're taking their eyes away. So a lot of horses, especially like her, if she doesn't trust you first and you try to do that, you're just going to cause a fight. And it could work out for you. It might not work out for you. But just over the years of starting so many babies, I just know that if you take their eyes away like that, you could create more anxiety. And I love to see horses travel around on a loose rein anyways, but I also want them soft in that bridle when I do go forward at any time. Like I said, I'm not going to hold one in that position all the time, but I'm going to try and teach one how to travel that way and keep giving them that release. So that's exactly how I would start one at any age. When I'm starting to push them into the bridle, that's exactly how I do it right there. And maybe only 5-10 minutes a day. I'm not going to work on it all day long or all session long. I'm going to work on it for 5 minutes in the beginning, maybe in the warm-up, and then I'm going to go and do something like work on the flag or maybe teach the reining, whatever we're doing that day. So I just don't want to, that neck can actually get tired. If you try to force them in that position, they're not used to carrying themselves that way. It can get tired, and then they get tired, and then you get to a fight 10 minutes in the session. You're wondering why they're fighting you. It's because, well, the muscle's getting sore. So I don't want them to get sore. I want them to have a good experience about this and only give me that softness there for a second until I feel like she's really got that position, and then release and give her some strides and then do it all over again. And that's how I start my babies going into the bridle. That's it for Charlie today. Thanks for watching.